Good afternoon. Welcome to Mindfulness at Lunch. I'm Angie Chew, a founder and CEO of Brown Center, and I'm delighted to spend this Monday with you. This may be our last Monday in this series of Mindfulness at Lunch, as phase 2 will be lifting, or I hope at least it will be lifting by this Sunday, and life will become a bit more normal where we can actually go out more regularly and also to dine out and have some activities that are social in nature. So now let's just focus on our body and relax this body. As we live in this body, we have a responsibility to take care of it. So let's tune into our shoulders and let's do our shoulder rotation. Breathe in and pull our shoulders back and rotate them forward. And let's just do this 3 times. Please do it slowly and gently. Great. And now let's rotate the other way around. Take a deep breath when we're pulling our shoulders back. Wonderful. And now our neck, turning our face to the right, to the left, to the right, and to the left. Bring our head to the center, drop our chin to our chest. And do a gentle rotation. Focus on the movement. And change direction. Wonderful. And now bring the hands together and push them up to the ceiling. And let's lengthen our spine. And giving space to all the vertebrae, relieving them of all that compression due to our standing and sitting. Oh, I can feel my spine smiling. Wonderful. And slowly lower the arms. Okay. And now closing our eyes and just take 3 beautiful deep breaths. A deep breath nourishes the body, relaxes the muscles, and helps us to check in, connecting the mind to the body. Now just sense how this body is feeling. Noticing any warm parts of the body, respiration, any aches or pain. The body nervous system communicates with us by sending us messages with sensations. To care for this body, we need to be in tune, listening, so we can make the right or appropriate adjustments to care for this body. Let's do a body scan today, a gratitude body scan. Sensing first into our feet, noticing how the feet are feeling, the toes, the soles, the ankles, And feeling blessed that our feet are intact and we're able to stand up and balance on these feet. Our toes are able to grip and therefore we don't lose our footing. Now scanning up the legs, sensing into the calf muscles, the shin, the knees. And let's check in with the thighs. And if your hands are placed on your thighs, notice the weight of your hands resting on your lap. Notice how the seat feels under the lap. And the connection of the thigh bones into our hip. And feeling grateful that our legs are intact. And we're able to move on our legs. For some of us, we can still squat. Some of you can still hop and jump. And some of us can't, but we are still able to walk. And if you're not able to walk, you feel grateful that the legs are still present. Now scanning up your bum and up the back. Crawling inch by inch up your spine and sensing into the muscles on the back along the spine. Into your shoulders. And feeling grateful that the spine is intact. We're able to hold our body upright. And the spinal cord that's protected by the spine enables us to feel our limbs and to move the limbs. The central nervous system is so critical for the brain to have control over the limbs and our ability to sense the presence of these limbs. Scan down our arms into our hands. Being grateful for the presence of the palms and the fingers and our ability to extend our arms, wash with these hands, clean, cook, open doors, pick things up, combing our hair, getting dressed. These amazing arms and hands enable us to be independent, to be able to look after this body. And shifting from our hands now to our abdomen. And just sensing all the muscles in the abdomen and the organs there that are functioning 24/7. Keeping this body alive and in good order. Our stomach that digests the food and the nutrients absorbed by the intestines Toxins removed by the kidneys, the liver, and excreted through our gallbladder and urethra, and through the big intestines and our rectum. And the pancreas that balances the sugar level in our blood. All these amazing organs keep the body in balance. Now scanning up to the chest, sensing into the heart, the lungs, feeling grateful, the heart is beating, and the lungs are breathing. And all that blood, plasma, hemoglobin, platelets, working 24/7, sending oxygen, nutrients to all the different parts of the body, and collecting the waste and disposing them, repairing the cells, and up the neck, and the face, the jaw, the lips, teeth, the tongue, this mouth that enables us to communicate, to digest our food from the time the food gets chewed before it goes into our stomach. The nose, be able to breathe through the nose, feel the air going through the nostrils, be able to smell. That adds the flavor to our food when we eat, the experience of enjoyment. The eyes allows us to see the world, the faces that we love, and to look out for danger. The cheeks that allow us to smile. Forehead, the eyebrows, the hair on our scalp, protecting our brain, skull, the earlobes, be able to hear better, and the inner ears. It makes me so grateful to remember all their functions and how they add to the joy of my life. Now dropping into the breath, being grateful to the presence of the breath. Because of this breath, we're still alive. Not forgetting the skin that protects all our organs, the biggest organ of our body, and also helps to regulate the temperature. It aspires to get rid of heat and fights off infection by stopping the viruses and bacteria into the body. What an amazing body. So just hang out with the breath. And just focus on 5 more breaths. And open your eyes. And smile. Okay. I hope that has increased your gratitude of having this amazing body and to have this life that our body is functioning. Well, if you lie in a hospital bed, feel grateful that your body is doing its work in repairing the cells. And soon you will be out of the hospital, just allowing the body to rest. And that's how it repairs. So feeling grateful brings so much joy into our life. And when we use our body as a way of understanding life, that all these organs are synchronizing its role in this body. And that's how we can still stay alive and wake up in the morning and all the toxins are excreted and the nutrients are pumped into our body to reaching all the different parts of the organs. And what about our relationships? Because like the body has good relationship with each other, right? They don't fight with each other. But when they do, like when the immune system starts attacking the organs, then yes, the body goes haywire. So similarly in our relationships, when any one of us in the family or organization starts attacking another, it's almost like the immune system in the body attacking, and the body can't function well. So in a family or organization, is to be aware that when we start attacking someone else, we create a lot of disruption and also disharmony, and it causes the organization or family to be dysfunctional. So how do we bring about harmony? How do we bring about peace so that we can all work in tandem? So sometimes our organs compensate for each other when one is not working so well. Same in the family or organization is to help support each other and help the other person heal. Just as when an organ in the body compensates for another, it allows the weakened organ to heal so that it can be functioning in a better condition again. So if we have kindness in our heart, we would reach out to a family member and say, hey, are you all right? How can I support you? And if the person says, no, I don't need your support, it's okay. It's not to take umbrage. It's just to say, okay, but just know I'm here. And if you need my help or just a listening ear, don't hesitate to call. Those kind words go a long way with someone who is in pain. And what does it mean when someone's in pain? That means the person is upset or angry or feeling anxious. And when a person is in that mode, he or she becomes dysfunctional, which is why it's so important for us to look after our mind, to have that sense of calmness and presence, so that every moment of our life, we would be of value to someone else. When our mind is full of anxiety, that means thoughts that are worrying us, or when we have resentment, thoughts that are harsh and mean, or when we're angry, we have thoughts that we want to fight back and get even, it makes us scary because other people can sense that we're a potential threat. Because when we are angry, we're anxious, or resentful, we don't come across very nice. And we can all sense each other. So that's why the practice of mindfulness helps us to ground ourselves, to let go of these unpleasant thoughts that are fueling negative emotions that make us come across as potentially threatening. So when we are calm, we become so likable, lovable, and people want to befriend us because we are of no threat. So when people dislike us, our antenna goes up because we sense threat, because that person has negative judgment of us. And what's the best antidote? To go to that person and say to that person, hey, you know what? I see a lot of positives in you. You're talented. You've got really some amazing qualities. And this helps their mind to open up to you. So when someone dislikes us, it's not to dislike them back. That is not helpful. So if someone is upset with you at home or at work, go up to that person and say, hey, I'm sorry if I offended you. I'm sorry if I have not been very sensitive to you. Please give me some feedback so that I can work on improving our relationship. And this is especially crucial if this relationship is one that is with your family members. Because the most important relationships in our life is with our family members. So instead of seeing them as a threat or they seeing us as a threat, reach out to them with kindness and even an apology, if that helps. Gratitude is feeling grateful even when things are not going well, because it's knowing that we still have time to address them. And I'm very grateful that you're all out there spending twice a week with me because I'm able to serve. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. So now I'm open to questions and comments if any one of you have any. Thank you, Pui Hun, for your comment that body scan has really helped you feel good. Okay, I see some questions here. I have difficulty meditating in the hospital. Why? Okay, so I'm not sure if you are a healthcare professional or you are a patient in the hospital. So watch where your mind goes. So what may be helpful is for you to just scan the environment and noticing the different sounds in the hospital and be accepting before you start to do body scan, for example. So accepting whatever is going on in the hospital is helpful, or whether you're at home is the same thing. Another possibility is for you to find a quiet corner and meditate there. Okay, another question here. What are the ways to minimize the attacks in a relationship? Is to respond with kindness and express your feelings. It's like, wow, what you're saying to me is really hurtful. And I'm not sure what I've done to hurt you. And if you could tell me, then perhaps we can mend this relationship, because the way you're attacking me, it's making me feel very uncomfortable and unwanted. And sometimes some form of open directness is necessary to ask, perhaps, would you rather that I no longer live here anymore? Would you be happier without me? And sometimes these difficult questions help people to bring to awareness that that's not what they want, but they're just angry. Okay, the next question here is, gaslighting is a form of psychological abuse where a person makes someone question their sanity, perception of reality, or memories. How does one deal with a person who does this in a relationship? And how does one wipe out this abuse permanently? Now, if this person's intent is really one that is mean and it is causing you to lose your sanity, then maybe it's time for you to reflect on your options. If this person continues to attack, even though you have expressed that it is really hurting you and it's affecting you, then it's time to have an honest conversation that maybe, living apart is better. So when a relationship gets so toxic because of what is done to each other, then perhaps some time apart may be helpful to allow the time and space for the healing to take place. And then slowly come back together and improve on the communication and to be friends if you can't be a couple. So I've always made sure that all my exes are friends. Because after all, I see a lot of goodness in them. I see a lot of their strengths, and they are good people. But we may just not be able to live together because we have kind of grown apart. Now, the question here is, when the person is stressful, don't use the word stress when you talk to them? Yeah, it's not to say that person causes you stress. It's like, wow, I feel really stressed when you say this or when you do that. So instead of saying you're such a stressful person to live with, which then that sort of accusation just makes the person very defensive, is to speak from the self. It's like, I feel really stressed when you do this or when you say this. Okay. All right, next question here is, hi Angie, what is the suggested approach in resolving a long-running relationship problem? Well, it's really hard for me to give you some magical answer. I'm not sure you've seen a counselor, but I always believe that kindness is the best approach. Just be kind to the person, buy them some treats, say kind words. There's nothing sometimes more effective than some acts of generosity in giving them a show of kindness. So do that as an act of gratitude. Gratitude for everything that he or she has done for you in the past. And also, it's a way of developing gratitude in here. So generosity, gratitude are two foundational attitudes of mindfulness. Thank you for that question. Next question here is, what are the other helpful ways to stay calm and have clarity of mind in the busy world? Take 3 deep breaths. Because that helps to stop all the narratives, all that thinking that is feeling all the emotions. So that's how we recenter ourselves on the breath. Okay? Yes, and look forward to you joining the course this Thursday. Thank you, Fiona. And question from Ida, what if you have apologized and responded, but they do not wish to cooperate? Then accept it, let it go. So these 2 foundational attitudes are powerful. Just because we apologize, we cannot expect the person to just accept the apology. Person may have to take time to process it. Perhaps he or she may be checking to see how sincere our apology is, whether we really mean it or it's just some casual words. Maybe the words come hollow to that person. So for them to process it is for us to mean it backed up by actions. And those actions are kind acts. Hey, another question here is, I have a particular friend who's super negative about everything. When I say good morning, she'll say, so what good about the morning? I do wish to help her find some joy, and I know that she'll be happier if she becomes more grateful and kind. Yes, indeed. So when the person says, what's so good about the morning? Well, you can provide a positive response. Well, because I'm still alive and I can come to work. And of course, it's a good morning. I was able to wake up and eat my own food without being fed. I could come to work without being pushed here in a wheelchair. So have some responses that are equally cheerful and uplifting. So most important thing is not to let somebody else's bad mood to take over our good mood. Let our good mood lift other people up. Okay, next question. I get uptight with heavy noises and heat at home, like extractor fan, cooking hood, electric kettle, microwave, and my mom cooks, although I meditate and used to go to retreat. Don't know what to do. Well, meditate on these sounds. So first and foremost is not to call them noise, because noise has a connotation that it is not wanted sounds. When you go and meditate, even in botanic gardens, there are still sounds around. It is not quiet. There are sounds of birds, there are sounds of frogs, there are sounds of cricket, sounds of people walking around, rustling of leaves, and so on and so forth. So at home, these are just the normal sounds of a home environment. So if you can be curious about these sounds and accept these sounds as you do in the botanic gardens of all the other creatures making sounds, in this case, at home, your mom is the creature. And in addition, all these other very useful appliances are also the sound makers. So it's to accept, wow, I have such a blessed home that I've got all these appliances that help our lives become better. This is where gratitude comes in. So when we have gratitude, our mind is more accepting. Okay. Hi, Angie. Next question. Thank you for the body scan session and the subsequent talk. I have a question. How should I deal with people who don't like me since day one? I've experienced this twice in an office setting, and I believe they behave this way as they find me a threat for some reason. Okay, so if this is happening again, when it's happened before, it is good for us to reflect on perhaps certain mannerism or a certain way we speak may be causing them to feel threatened. So check on your tone of voice, check on the words that you use, check on the manner, even the way you walk and the way you sit. Because when we are a little bit abrupt, or when we are less than aware of other people in our presence, and we are so focused on getting our work done, that they may see us as just being insensitive. So it's good to reflect. If you haven't taken a mindfulness course, please do, because that helps to increase your self-awareness. Okay, next question here. If a family member blames me for doing the right thing voluntarily, but not exactly the way he wants it, what is your mindful response? Instead of, no, I don't want to do it next time. Well, it's to say, how would you have done it? Would you like to show me how? Or would you like to take over this task? I'm happy to let go. So when we have calmness and clarity of mind, then chances are we would have a much kinder response, and even a creative one that brings about more happiness. Next question here. How to deal with a threat to break up a relationship? Well, maybe it's time to move on from that relationship. If somebody wants to break up, it means that that person is finding little or no happiness in the relationship. So either you rediscover the joy and the happiness in a relationship, or it's time to move on. Next question here. What are the various options for partners not married to live in together in Singapore? Well, I think if you're 35 and above, you can buy a flat on your own and still live with the partner. Or you can buy it with a parent, I understand. So I'm not an expert on this. You might want to go to the HDB website to check on it. But private condominiums, you can buy with a friend. There is no restriction, and you can even take a loan together. Okay. How do we speak to aged in-laws? Speak with kindness. We have no idea what it's like to be that old until one day we reach there. And their suffering is something that we have no appreciation of. So just be kind. Their body is a lot older, doesn't work as well. And also their brain and their hair is getting more white, and the eyes are not seeing as brightly, and the teeth are not, or the taste is not as good as what we taste right now. So have compassion. Speak kindly. All right. So I'm checking the chat now. My boss has a fault-finding mind, recently kept finding faults with me. Any tactics? Compliment her. Because if that person is a fault-finding person, chances are he or she is also finding fault with himself or herself. So help her to see good in herself, and then she'll start seeing good in you. Give it a go. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. I have gone way past my time again. I think my sessions are 45 minutes. Am I continuing these sessions next week? We are supposed to be ending this session this Friday. I believe my next session is Thursday. I'm not sure, but sign on every day. And I usually would post the recording after the talk on YouTube. So if you don't catch me live, catch me on YouTube or catch me at a course. I have a course coming up called the Mindfulness for Enhanced Performance starting this Wednesday. And I have 2 courses in September, mindfulness-based cognitive therapy and mindfulness-based stress reduction. So sign up for those courses and I'll see you there or at one of the retreats. One is in July and the other one will be open soon in September. See you all. Take care, everyone. And phase 2 is coming to an end soon. Things are looking good. So all the best. Stay positive. Bye.